Okay, before you get mad, the title's kind of, a clickbait. But not really, or maybe it is. I don't know. I'm kind of on the ropes about this. It's a very hot take, so let me just explain the inner workings of my brain to you so you get the full picture. Now, the reason I say such a unpopular opinion is not because I hate esports and competitive gaming. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I love both of those things. I mean, I don't watch enough esports nowadays. I think the first big esport event I watched was the CSGO 2018 E-League Major in Boston, where I witnessed my favorite team at the time, that being Cloud9, beat FaZe, which in everyone's eyes should have been unbeatable due to the roster of absolute legends they had built. That win resulted in Cloud9 winning the whole event and bringing America a major win for the first time in history. Vividly, I remember sitting in a Discord call with my friend watching the two teams duke it out in Inferno. The both of us were extremely tense because the game was nearing its end, with overtime being a ticking bomb that no one knew the timer for. I think every viewer was on the edge of their seats, and when Cloud9 did the thing, they beat FaZe, I remember jumping out of my chair and screaming like a rabid baboon. Looking back, I think I understand why people watch any sorts of sports in general. And as time went on, I jumped between all sorts of games and all sorts of esports, but I don't think there was any one event that I watched that was, in my eyes, as astonishing as the CSGO 2018 E-League Major. But I digress. The story is meaningless in the big picture that I want to present to you, though the picture is more towards the abstract side of ideas. It's more of a theory that's missing part of what could make it a fact or a statement, I guess. I believe as time went on, and as the whole idea of being a pro gamer and playing in big esport events and getting big money and hitting those sick 360, 180, YY 540 trick shots grew in popularity, people finally started to realize that them playing games could be more than just that. It could amount to a legitimate career rather than just a silly hobby. People had a valid reason to stop playing casually and focus on improving their sick gamer skills. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing because every 13-year-old little boy named Timmy is better than me in any game. Like, how the fuck are you behind me, Timmy? Get the fuck out. But I am saying that it feels like no longer can I casually pawn some noobs. I get in a Call of Duty lobby and I am forced to sweat just so that I don't die every 5 seconds by some dude named Man Coochie, with Man being his clan tag. I guess Man Coochie the name was already taken. However, this isn't the only reason I think esports might have slightly hindered the whole gaming industry. Game companies, those silly little people that promise us everything and give us a tenth of that. Just like the players, companies realized that they could also have a chance at profiting from the idea of esports. And no, I don't mean Ty Howard started playing CSGO and making his employees work overtime just so they could learn how to smoke stairs on Mirage. What I mean is, companies stopped making games to entertain the consumer. Instead, they focused on making the next big esport title that would bring in a large audience over to whichever way they monetize their game. And not every company did this, but let's be honest with ourselves. In the past couple of years, there has been an influx of games aimed toward a competitive playstyle. Now that could be just because there's more and more games coming out every year, or it could be due to my theory, but I guess we'll never know. After all, it's just a theory, a bad one at that. Esports as a whole has done a lot of positive things for the gaming industry. It has given lots of people jobs that back in the day, no one person thought would be possible. It also brought in more of a mainstream audience into the world of games. I mean, I don't think I know a single person that hasn't heard of the Fortnite tournament with a reward of like 3 million for first place. And unlike real sports, esports hasn't really been affected too much by COVID. Now, instead of big stadiums where the competition takes place, it's just on your screen. I mean, it was always streamed for people, but now it's the only way to watch the event, whereas with the more conventional sports, there's a risk of getting COVID for the players. Either way, I said my piece, and now it is time for me to retreat into my gremlin hole. This has been BB. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.